Hi everyone and welcome to In the Sewers. This is a series where I chat to bands varying in genres of rock and ask them how they got started, what they've got going on right now and what they are planning in the future, and then just having a bit of a natter. We've been having some amazing conversations and I can't wait to share them with you all. In tonight's episode, I am chatting to Stevie, who is the frontman of hard rock band Twister. At the start of the year, they had a bit of a lineup change, but now they've settled on what they really want and they are really going after it. They are raising money for their second album, and we have a couple of stories here, moments of wow, as well as Stevie discharging himself from hospital to go and see one of his favourite bands. Now let's get to it. Here's me and Stevie having a bit of a chat. Hi, Stevie. Thank you for joining me in the Stewards. How are you doing today? You all right?
I'm not too bad, thank you very much. Just been working in the studio, so yeah, here I am.
That is life. You've been very busy as of late because you're trying to get things sorted, because you've had a bit of a funny start to the year with a bit of a lineup change and a bit of, you've changed your colour scheme and all the rest of it. So tell people what you guys have been doing. Well, you and the guys have been doing.
Yeah, so we've we've had a couple of little lineup changes this year. Thankfully, it's been fairly seamless. We were just reckoning it up actually when we was getting our Kickstarter campaign ready. We've actually still managed to play in 11 countries this year, which is mental considering
Pretty
the
cool.
state that we've been in. But yeah, so we finally got everything sorted up lineup wise the end of July. We finished the UK tour, did our last sort of changes that we needed to make, and between then and now we've just been writing flat out. We've still had a few shows in, but not as busy as we usually are. And then we're pretty much ready now to just go back on the road for the rest of the year. We're still writing, still recording. That's what I'm doing right now. Just banging some ideas out and seeing what lands. And to be honest, I love this process. So it's busy, but it's the way we like it to be. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you're always busy. You've always been on the road doing something or another, whether that is you guys doing your own shows, as it stands, like isn't your mini tours that you've done, or whether you've been supporting people, because like you've been with the Choir Boys earlier on this year, and then you're supporting Dead Man's Whiskey. You're doing things with, is it the Hot One Too? I think you said it was the Hot One Too.
Yeah.
So you got all of that coming in November/December kind of time. Is that right?
Yeah, so we've already done one show with Dead Man's Whiskey in London, beginning of October, and the rest of the tour is all in November. So we've got I forget how many shows it is, but it's a really nice run of dates. So we've got that. We've also got a couple of shows in there. We've got a big show with the Tigers of Pantang, who are really good friends of ours. We've supported them many years ago, and we've always kept in touch with things. And they were having a bit of a Christmas party and they invited us along, so why not? And we've also got a really good show we haven't announced yet, as our Christmas party, is our end of the year, of a manic 12 months that we've had. But just to see it off in style, really, come and have one, because everything we've done this year, we've done a couple of headline shows, but they've been a little bit few and far between.
Yeah.
And we're so used to playing like lengthy sets. The old support half hour, 40 minutes is just it's kept us ticking over, but it's not what we've been wanting to do. So we're going to do a mammoth show to finish the year off.
Well, that would be pretty cool. Are you sure you don't want to announce it now, or are you going to keep it a little longer?
No, I can't announce it yet. There's still a lot of sorting out to go into it. So hopefully we won't be too far away from being able to share it with everyone.
That would be pretty awesome. Can't wait to see that in all its glory. And you guys have set up, like you said, your Kickstarter and things like that, and you've got you've got loads of different bits and bobs that you're doing, including the t-shirts that you bought, the fist fight t-shirts. They look amazing.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, our good friend Greg from the Fallen State asked us if he could design a shirt for us. I was like, please do, because it's usually me and I'm terrible at it. So yeah, I think he's done a marvelous job. So what we wanted to do with this, we're actually going to do 4 shirts, which what we're going to call like the historic series of stuff. Basically, it's all going to be based on tracks which we've played for a few years now, but we've never done specific merchandise for. So Fist Fight's the first one, and because we always like to name our tours and name the sort of the things that we've got going on, and we wanted to. We were like, oh, what do we call this run of shows? Like, oh, actually, we've just done the Fist Fight T-shirt, so let's base it on that. That's going to be our tour in stock. So that's where we came with the "Let's See Your Darker Side" as a little play on one of the lyrics from it.
Quite nice. I quite like that. It's really, really cool because it's something completely different. I mean, you had like all your different hoodies and things like that. A couple of years ago, you did the baseball jackets. They were really cool.
Yes, yeah, we're always looking to try and sort of we like the whole limited edition thing. I think it makes everything a little bit more personal, and you're seeing people turn up to shows, you go, Christ, I remember when we did that T-shirt, like, well, you did 30 of them and you've got one, but I don't even have one, and like things like that. It's like, it's nice. It's really nice to see. So we've done a limited run of these. We're going to do 3 other songs as well that we've never done merch for, and they're going to come out over the next couple of months, as we go into the whole recording of the next album process.
So where are you going to go and record your next album? Because I know you've had it, your last one was mastered and done and all that jazz at Abbey Road. Are you working with, I can't remember his name now.
I'll tell you. It's all right.
I was going to say,
I can.
I was going to say Ramesh Ranganathan, but that's that comedian guy. It's not him.
That's not him. It is a very, very brilliant Ramesh Dodengora. He's phenomenal. We didn't use him for the album, but we used him for the EP, which was recorded like in 2 stints last year. It wasn't just the results of the actual recording process. It was working with Ramesh was just a dream anyway. But the way he approaches the process just suits us down to the ground. And we found that it was a really good working relationship. We were like, we when we did the album, we were doing like 16, 17, 18-hour days of just like absolutely flat out. And I think we did like 2 weeks where there was virtually no sleep had. And I remember the last couple of days of recording vocals on it. I'd recorded the verse for Call to Arms, and we'd gone, don't like it. Don't like the melody. Let's change the entire thing. And like we've got like an hour. You've got an hour, write a new melody, write new lyrics for both verses of this song, and get it out. And we're sitting at the piano like falling asleep holding lyric sheets, like trying to fill stuff out. But that was a great process, and it's lovely to look back on. But when we went into the EP process really well prepared. Everything we'd already tracked everything here at our studio. This is where I am right now. I'm in our control room. The other side of this screen is our live room.
Yes.
And basically going into this process, we wanted to do that again because it was going to be. We knew it was going to be a big run. We knew we were going to record 10 or so songs. So it was like, well, let's make it as nice a process as we can, and doing it Ramesh's way just really works for us. And the results are class. Like the 4 songs we released last year, they did really well, but also I think they represent us really well. It just captures.
Really well's kind of an understatement. Tell people how far you actually got. That's really minimizing what you did.
No, they did do really well, but it's not. We did have Secrets, which got to #1 in the iTunes rock chart, which is really, really cool. And all the others were top 5, so that's excellent.
That's
and we want to try, totally. And we want to try and take that into the next set of releases. There's a lot of things that we learned from releasing Cursed & Corrected back in 2020. The whole year that everyone could do with forgetting.
It just evaporated, didn't it?
Yeah, just disappeared. So, but we definitely learned a lot from that process. We've got a really good team of people around us, and it's actually really nice because a lot of the songs that are going to be on this record, me and Jack have been sat on for a little while. And then we've brought Niall back into the fold, and me and Niall, like the first thing we ever released in 2009 was me and Niall writing. We wrote all of it together, and it was bringing him back in is really nice because it's almost that familiarity and it's new at the same time because we haven't worked together for so long, and then we get back in the room. There's so much to say. There's so much to do. We've learned so much separately. That's like, it's a new fire. It's a new experience. And then we've brought James in as well, and he's a phenomenal guitar player. He's got tons of ideas, and it's every sort of aspect is complementing what we want to try and do. So there's nothing like what you occasionally have in bands. It's been like sort of little things sort of pulling in different directions, and that's hard. I mean, and just we're quite lucky because we haven't really had that ever. We've always had like the core nucleus of the band pushing in the right way, and we're just in a really, really good place with it now.
Good, because that's where you need to be, and your van was back on the road because that was out of action for a while as well. That was just something else you didn't need happening either.
Yeah, I left the studio last night. That wouldn't start at 2 a.m, which I wasn't very happy about. But that was, thankfully, it was just a flat battery. Yeah, she was off the road for a little while. We've ploughed a lot of money into it, which is, to be honest, why we've ended up having to do a Kickstarter campaign to put the album in, because we'd saved all the money to do the album, and we ended up having to spend it on the van. But these things happen.
Aye, exactly. If there was anybody you could collaborate on your new album with, like a guest vocalist or anything like that, who would that be?
I don't know. We have toyed with the because me and Jack do like there's a lot of harmony.
Yes.
And we were actually sat here last night and we were talking about, we were actually listening to a couple of female vocalists singing alongside a male vocalist, and we were just saying how big of fans we are of that. So it would probably be a female vocalist of sorts, I would think, but not any names at the moment. But
right, okay. So you just
probably
played around with that idea.
Yeah, probably a female vocalist. We'd definitely like to do something, even if it was only social content, versions of our songs and stuff. We are toying with, once we've got all the songs ready for the album, doing the album versions, and then doing some slightly different versions for online stuff.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I quite like that idea. What another one I was going to say was, you guys have worked with quite a lot of people supporting so many different bands, varying in genres of rock. But what moment was probably like an, oh my God, I'm playing with this person kind of moment?
Well, the show that we did with Status Quo was fairly insane. There's a couple of proper moments you've gone, that's a little bit surreal. The first of both of the two I'm going to mention now happened within like 2 months of each other as well. But the first one, we got offered the chance to do some shows with Ron Thal, Bumblefoot, and phenomenal guitar player, massive fan of his work. Thought he was great in Guns N' Roses as well, like just a lovely bloke, like a really nice guy. And we got offered to do some shows with him. And originally it was just, oh, would you like to support him? And I was like, yeah, absolutely love to. And then his manager got in touch and, actually, would you like to be his band for these shows?
Right.
Yeah, that would be amazing. So he sent us over basically a load of MP3s, heavy songs. Some were bass heavy, some were drum heavy, some were guitar heavy. And then we had to learn them, but without ever meeting him. So we only met him. We only met him on the morning of the first show.
Jesus.
There
you go. Sort that out.
Yeah. Basically, we turned up the sound check, and it was like, right, we'll do just a bit of a longer sound check. And we ran everything, and it was great. It was a proper good gig. But like, we'd been learning these songs without the lead guitar and without the lead vocal for months. So the first time that we heard them with all the pieces in place was at sound check.
You did all right.
Yeah, so that was really cool. But the other one was when we played with Status Quo, and
hey everyone, sorry to interrupt the interview mid-flow. I just wanted to say, if you like this episode and you want to see more, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button down at the bottom of the page. And if you want to be the first to see the brand new episode of In the Sewers, then don't forget to ding that little old bell. So So come on, everybody, ring my bell and let's get back to it.
It was that was surreal for different man, because we were on just before Quo, and the basically we had to load on at like 10 a.m. in the morning to have everything sort of lined up for throughout the day. And I'd gone sort of backwards and forwards onto the stage 3 or 4 times, and there was a bloke in a barber jacket and a dut on, just like sort of sat next to the stage, and I didn't realise it, but it was Rick Parfitt. And then after I'd gone past, I was like, "That's Rick," but I've got my hands full of stuff, so I put it down. I was like, went back, I was like, "I'm really sorry, I've walked past you like 1,000 times now, lifting gear, but like, thanks so much for having us to the show." And he was so lovely. And then when we were playing the set, I turned around to face the drummer, and Rick was one side of the stage and Francis Rossi was the other side of the stage, and I got one of them, and I was like, I'm pretty happy with that. I'll take that. I'll have the big thumb.
So would you want to work with anyone of that caliber again, and who would it be?
All of them.
All.
I think the beauty about people like that is they've been there and done it, so they've gone and done everything that we are doing and we have done. They've all played in covers bands since they were kids. They've all done everything that is there to do in the music world. So every time you meet somebody like that, you take something else away. You learn something from them. And I remember Rick Parfitt's guitar tech asking me, what was the tone you were using on that solo? It sounded amazing. So I was talking through my pedal board, and the gig organizer goes, "I can't believe that Rick Parfitt's guitar tech's taking advice off you." I was like, "I know, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. Just plug it in and hope for the best."
I just plug it in and off I go.
Yeah, but yeah, you see, just meeting people like that is a pleasure. You don't ever want anything from them. You don't just the fact that they take the time to show an interest in what you do after we've shown many years of interest in what they do. I think that's enough, really.
Exactly. You know, as long as you learn from it and you move on, it makes you better as a performer, maybe a lyricist or whatever you want to call it.
No, definitely, but not just that. The main thing is, like, how many times do people say don't meet your heroes, because like, it's never going to be what you hope it's going to be. I'm fairly lucky. Most of the people that we've met in the music world have been great, bar a couple of exceptions, which I won't talk about now.
Just in case they're watching.
Well, they won't be watching. But yeah, most of the people you meet are dead lovely, and they're more than happy to give you a few moments of their time, and like, that's worth its weight. Because at the end of the day, we're all just fans. Like, I know we play and we do our bit, but we're all just music fans at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. And mentioning fans, you're a huge fan of Green Day, and they announced that they're going on tour next year. How excited are you for that?
I haven't even seen the announcement, so that's the first time I've heard of it.
Really?
Yeah,
they announced they're going on tour next year. I don't know what
Get in.
all the dates are, but because that's what inspired you, didn't you? I remember we were talking before, and you said like how Billy Joe Armstrong was performance wise, because you did the whole black shirt and the red tie situation, didn't you, when you first started?
I definitely did. I think everybody who's into Green Day and is in a band has done the black shirt and red tie thing at some point. I probably kept it going I might have kept it going a little bit longer than I should have done, really. But no, I think it's. I think we, as players, you all have moments you go, "That's what I want to do. That's who I want to do that." And I got tickets to go and see them from a friend, and we went, and I was just totally gobsmacked by them. I've seen them 9 times now. And they're just been to Germany to see them.
I was going to say you went to Germany with your mum and dad's to go and see them, didn't you? But you'd been
did,
very unwell just before that as well, and you'd been gigging as well.
The worst one. I'd come back from a horrendous time in Greece on tour, and then I spent 4 days in hospital when I got back, and I discharged myself to go and see them play in Hyde Park. I stood in Hyde Park like lying on my mum and dad just trying to watch them. I really wasn't very well, but I wouldn't have missed it.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. What else was I going to say? So moving forward, when is all this new album and everything going to be sort of happening? What's going on with that? When can people start expecting to see bits and bobs of what's going on?
So you'll start seeing stuff towards the back end of this year. I said we were in the back end of the year, but like towards the real back end
The
of the year,
right arse end of the
the
year.
last few days of the year, you'll start seeing little bits that we're going to be posting a few snippets and stuff on the Patreon. And excuse me, we're going to start recording the album properly at the back end of January. So we're currently tracking like ideas and working on structures of songs and just trying to make sure that we're happy with everything. Basically, we basically record it twice. We record it once a year and then go like that, don't like that, swap them out, so that you're not doing that in the studio, which means when we do take all of this down to Cardiff to record, it's dead easy. It's just cut, replace the drums, replace the bass, replace guitars. Dead easy.
That's it. Just done.
Done.
That's
10 minutes.
that's all it takes. Just half an hour and a cup of tea and you'll be fine. Be
Dead
sorted.
easy.
Are you doing a run of your vinyls again? Because you had like your red splatter one, you had your black one, you had loads of different coloured vinyls. Are you planning on doing that again with the new colour scheme, or are you not sure as of yet?
Yeah, we've got some colour schemes in mind for what we're going to do vinyl wise. But there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes at the moment as to how we're going to release it. So once that's signed, sale, delivered, we're probably going to do the 3 colours that we've changed everything to for this album cycle. And once we sorted the logistics of how we want to release it, that'll become a bit more obvious.
That'll be lovely. Can't wait for that.
It
So
will.
it is nearly the end of our little chat here, unfortunately. But I know, sorry, I can chat forever. You know I can. But is there
Well,
anybody? Is there anything you would like to say to anybody out there who's starting out in a band and just feeling a little bit discouraged with things right now? Because the music scene does struggle a bit, and a lot of venues are closing down, and people are struggling to really get themselves heard. What advice would you give people? Because you've been doing it a long time now, so you're a
yeah.
veteran.
Yeah, I pretty much am now. Yeah, I realised that the other day. I think for me, just stick to what you believe in. Play as many shows as you can. Just keep going out there. Play. If there's 3 men and a dog watching you, just give it 100%. The old saying, you never know who's in front of you. You don't. Like that one person in front of you could be somebody who's going to help you along the line.
Could be Rick Parfitt sat at the side of the stage.
Could be. He could have his bomb out. Well, not anymore. God rest his soul. But
I know.
yeah, a lot of people of that ilk. Yeah, just go out and play it as often as you can, as much as you can, and enjoy it. I think a lot of the early days of us starting out, I think there was a lot of illness. So just make sure it's right. Make sure it's right constantly. And then there was a period of time where I was going on stage and coming off and going, I can't remember any of that. Can't remember what happened. So I started to remind myself in the middle of shows to take mental photos, just go, remember this, remember that. And yeah, just enjoy it. Enjoy what you're doing.
Well, you can take better snapshots with your mind now that you've had your eyes done, so
Yeah, I can actually see. See.
Take them photos.
There's a period of time people go, oh yeah. I was like, oh, I didn't realise you were here. Like, yeah, we stood in front of you all night. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Well, thank you very much. Where can people find you guys next? What have you got coming up? And obviously I'll drop the socials in the description below, but where can people find you next?
Yeah, so we're on tour throughout November. Big Christmas show in December. It's not announced yet, but it will be this week. At some point this week, it will be out.
Okay, cool.
And then we have our Patreon page, which is very, very active. Lots of videos and stuff on there, behind the scenes stuff that you don't get anywhere else. All of our socials, Facebook, Instagram. Go and check them out. There's loads of things happening.
Marvelous. Well, thank you very much, Stevie, for taking the time out to chat to me today. It's greatly
Anytime.
appreciated. And hopefully I'll be able to come back and chat with you guys when you're recording and doing, and I'll see everybody rather than just your collection of
You
guitars.
will.
I
Yeah,
can
there's
see
a lot.
everybody.
There's a lot of stuff going on in this room right now. But
You just pushed
yeah,
it all to the side, hoping no
I
bookers.
did. I just kicked it out the way.
Well, thank you very much, darling, and you take care. Thank you.
Anytime.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Stevie, for taking the time out to come and chat to little old me. And like you said, hopefully I can catch up with them in the new year when they start recording their second album. If you do want to help towards crowdfunding that amazing album, then make sure that you hit the link below in the description to follow for their Kickstarter. Take a nosy at their Patreon as well for exclusive content, or you can just follow them on socials and check them out on Spotify. In next week's episode, I am chatting to glam metal band King Voodoo, and that episode goes out on my birthday. I am so excited to be chatting to this amazing band, and of course we're going to be talking about the 80s hair metal. What else would big-haired people be talking about? As well as their previous work, and they are playing at Hard Rock Hell in Great Yarmouth, so we'll be talking about that as well. But please stay safe wherever you are, and until next time, catch you later, Glamrat. Bye-bye.